Hello, my friends. Welcome in to another episode of the Subscription Web Design Podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. In this one, I want to share with you some of my thoughts on actually differentiating your web design business. There are a lot of people out there who have realized how powerful web design is. And sometimes it can feel like everybody and their sister's third cousin is a web designer. And in a world like that, how do you stand out? How do you differentiate your products and services? How do you differentiate the value that you bring to the table? And I got to tell you, this is getting even worse in a sense, because now, in the last 5 to 10 years, the gig economy has really exploded onto the scene. And it's amazing how cheaply you can get a decent looking website from sites like Fiverr or Upwork. And not only that, we're now entering what we might call an AI revolution, an artificial intelligence revolution. And there are websites right now, durable.io is one, that can build a website for you based on AI text input. In fact, I haven't looked at the details yet, but AI is coming to Elementor as well. And I don't know exactly in what capacity and how, but it could be something like this. And if you think about that, it's pretty insane to think that artificial intelligence could be taking the job of building a website. So then in a world of AI and the gig economy and, these real concerns as to what does it look like to be in a web design business moving forward in the world? Like, what do you do? How do you differentiate? How do you stand out? We hear a lot of talk about niching down, and it's like, is niching down the only way? And, do I have to pick a particular industry to be in? And there's lots of questions like that. We're going to dive into all of that on this episode. Now, speaking of AI, this episode is actually going to be sponsored by my new AI consulting call, okay? And what is this? Well, I have been using ChatGPT and other AI tools successfully now for months. We're getting some really, really great results. And I'll be honest, I would like to start using AI in a more careful but also forefront way in my businesses. And I want to extend that to you by sharing with you some of the knowledge and some of the resources and some of the insights that I've gained on how you can actually use tools like ChatGPT, like Jasper AI, to grow your business. If you're not a copywriter, you can use AI to grow your business. If you're not a business strategist, you can use AI to grow your business. If you're bad at math and need help with the numbers, you can use AI to grow your business. I promise you, I could blow your mind with some of the cool stuff that I've been doing with AI, and I want to share it with you. So I want to make a special offer to you to contact me. Just reach out at steve@northmaxservices.com. Just send me an email, put AI consulting call in the subject line, and say, I'm interested in booking a call with you to talk about AI. And I would be glad to reach back out to you and get you the details on that. Okay, so like I said, you don't have to rely on niching down to a particular industry to make yourself stand out. In fact, I talked about this on a recent podcast interview with my mentor, Josh. We recorded it back in January of 2023. It was episode 236, and we talked about some counterintuitive approaches to niching down in web design. And there's a number of things that you could do beyond just niching into industry. For example, you could niche down based on the complexity of the website. You could niche down based on just simply the type of websites that you're willing to build. There are all sorts of things that you could do to avoid limiting yourself to a particular industry or box. Now, I will say there's lots of merit to that too as well. If you're the expert web design builder for people in the landscape construction industry, then that's going to garner you a lot more attention in that vertical. And there's plenty of fish in the sea. There's like 5 or 6 landscapers in my church that I go to, right? And they're all flush with business. So think about that. Like, that's one niche that you might think, oh man, I'm limiting myself. If I work with landscapers, I can't work with doctors. Well, number one, that's not true. You can still work with doctors and work with landscapers, even if all your marketing was geared towards landscapers. But don't think that by niching down into an industry, you're limiting yourself. You're actually opening up to new possibilities. So that is one powerful way for sure that you can differentiate your web design business, but it's not the only way. Now, just a reminder here that actually the subscription model itself is a huge differentiator. So if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you're interested in building a subscription web design business. In other words, a podcast that scales on a subscription model and uses recurring revenue as its primary source of income. And that itself is a powerful differentiator because it allows you to say things in your marketing that other people can't say, right? It allows you to say that you're putting your money where your mouth is and working with people over the long haul and building long-term relationships. And you can say things like, look, if you pay us forever, you're just always going to have an amazing, optimized, up-to-date, performant website. It's so cool what you can say and the claims that you can make legitimately when you work on this kind of model. So don't discount your business from that perspective. The subscription model itself is a great differentiator, and I think it will help you in that area. There's also a number of tactics that you could use to set yourself apart. And what are tactics? Well, they're hacks, but they're also tactics, and they're just things that can help in the micro level to separate you. And one of those is what we call languaging, okay? And I think this is the one that sort of matters the most out of any of these. And languaging is the unique ability, and not everybody's good at this, so you might have to find somebody to work with who is good at this. But languaging is the unique ability to be able to take a concept, something, either something new or something even old that people need to understand in a little bit different way in order to do business with you. And just the languaging itself can differentiate you and set you apart, okay? So what's an example of languaging? I'll just give you one example from my own business, okay? We have a name for our discovery calls. We call them compass calls. Why do we call them compass calls? Because there is a compass in our logo, number one. And number two, because a compass call implies something. It implies direction. It implies that we're going to point you towards true north, right? And it has this implication that, like, this is a journey, and we're going to help you navigate in the right way to get where you need to go. So it differentiates us because while everybody else has discovery calls, and we do use some of that language just so that people know what we're talking about. It's not like we're afraid to say discovery call. We use that language on our site. But we also, when we can, get more specific and talk about compass calls because that is something that differentiates us from any other web design business. So if you can learn how to use languaging in your own business, give your products and services and ideas even specific names that are unique to you and set you apart, man, that makes a gigantic difference in your marketing. Now, what's cool too is you can sort of take this to the next level and use your languaging to help you craft a unique selling proposition, okay? So by the very language that you use, you can set yourself apart. Here's how Domino's did this, okay? It's so powerful. It's so amazing. If you get a handle of this, it's incredible. Domino's came out with their headline that sold just millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, probably, I don't know, billions, I don't know, for sure, lots of millions of dollars, with this one unique selling proposition. Fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. What? Fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. That's it. Now, they didn't say how good the pizza would be. They didn't make any kind of claims as to how much satisfaction they were going to enjoy from the pizza. It's like, look, the promise we're making is that it'll be fresh, it'll be hot, and it'll be there in 30 minutes or less. And if that doesn't work, you get your money back. It's a guarantee. Man, that's a classic unique selling proposition. But man, it's so impactful and powerful if you can do that kind of thing in your own business. And it takes a while, like a long time. Okay, I'm just now starting to discover some of what this is in my business, and I've been working on this for a long time, okay? Like the finding the thing that's really going to resonate with people. So I would encourage you to think along those lines. Try to see what you can come up with. Now, if you're stuck here, and like, well, I don't know how to do any of this languaging stuff. I don't know how to to create unique thoughts and unique ideas around the products and services that I offer. This is where using a tool like ChatGPT can be super duper powerful. And like I mentioned at the top of the episode, I want to help you with that. So again, send me an email, AI consulting call in the subject line, and I'll get back with you on some details on what that could look like. And I would love to help you learn to use AI in your subscription web design business to help you fast track. I just can't even explain to you the power. Like, the power of being able to shortcut and I mean, some of the things that took me just years to learn. If you have just a little bit of context and you know how to prompt the AI, it can be a fantastic assistant in your business. At any moment, it can be an SEO expert, it could be a business strategist, it could be a price strategist, it could be just an assistant. It's really amazing at what it can help you do, and I want to help you do that. All right, guys, that's it for this episode on differentiating your web design business. I hope you found just one little nugget here that could help you as you move forward in your efforts to build a successful subscription web design business that supports the family and the lifestyle that you love. You guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.